Alright, I think we should be live now. Hold on, let me change the name. Hello everyone, let me change the name real quick for the stream. Alrighty, now it should have the correct name. Sorry for the delay. Hello Living Tribunal, Henry's Music and Games, Ryan Smith, Ryan Flame, Yakatube. What's up everyone? How's your day going so far? Thanks Ryan Flame. I just realized your PFP is Elva the Katsuki robes. Yeah, that's my video avatar. Hittery, thanks. Sorry if I butcher anybody's names, by the way. I am sorry about that. Nothing I can really do about it. I'm putting some music over here, so tell me if it's too loud or too quiet, if you can hear it, things of that sort. My day was wonderful, that's good to hear. Right, that Freddy debate would be wild. If you guys knew what was going on the Discord server the other day, there were multiversal Freddy Fazbear metas going around somehow. So the actual Q&A is probably gonna start a few minutes after this, because I want to give some time to for people to arrive. A bit silent, but it's good. I can increase the volume a little bit, but then it kind of becomes distracting for me. I kind of can't hear myself talking. We lost our minds. Yeah. You have a Discord server? I don't know. Yeah, if you go to the community tab, then you can see so there are 2 posts with the link if you want to join. It's pretty fun. Do an Naruto tier list? I can do that at some point, but not today. Today is the Q&A stream. So the way we're gonna do this is there were some questions on the Discord, so I'll do them first. And these are the ones that I've actually seen, because I have to get them to... I had to gather them up, because the chat got a little clogged up with very many messages after the initial questions came in, so I just took all the questions and put them on one page for me to see. So these are the questions that I've actually seen, and then later I will go to the YouTube community tab where the questions are, and those are questions that I haven't seen yet, or at least most I haven't seen. You have a lot of questions to answer. Yeah, I saw like there were like what 30 comments on the community tab. Ryan Smith Universe Breaker decided to animate Draw Smiles God fan manga and mixed it with the side of my Super Punch. That's actually really hype. An animation for the God manga. I'm interested to see that when it comes out. Alright, so I think we can get into the questions, right? Currently 12 people viewing. So I think we can start. So, first with the Discord questions. Yokotube, what if? Starting off strong, asking if I have a job or if I'm just focused on YouTube. So, no, I don't have a job right now, but I'm also not just focused on YouTube. I'm doing studies and stuff. I do plan to get a job, but just right now I don't have one. Then the next question is going to be also from Yokotube YT. Ever thought your channel would grow so much? So, I can't say I didn't, but at the same time I had started to doubt it a little bit, like about half a year after making the channel first. Because when I first made the channel, I was expecting to grow, but then my upload frequency was just so bad that I just wasn't growing at all. So I kind of started doubting if I ever would grow, but the thing is, I know that as long as I put in the time to work on these videos and like upload them consistently and things along those sorts, I will grow. So I wouldn't say I didn't expect to grow to like 2,000 subs, but I will say I had started doubting that I would get to this point. Around the half a year like margin from first starting the channel. Commitment is key. Yeah, for sure. Like, as long as you're willing to put in the time and effort into videos, like, you will grow. It's just a matter of how fast you will grow. So yeah, I would say that's my answer to that question. I would say I did expect to grow to like 2,000 subscribers when I first started. Someone send me the Discord server link. I can maybe do that later. Same, I never thought I would ever reach 1k subs myself. I think a lot of people start YouTube just from the desire to start YouTube, you know, just the desire to make content themselves, like not actually looking for profit. I think that's how most people start out, honestly. And for me it was that, but it was also like when I first started thinking about starting a channel, I was still a kid. And so I always wanted YouTube to be a job at some point, because like what kid doesn't want to be a YouTuber for a living? So I did, before starting, I did expect to grow, but yeah. Then moving on, a question I just got today that I want to address in this Q&A, just so I have some place to direct people to if they ever ask this. Shiny N3D asked, how far are you willing to take the Boros story? Are you willing to finish One Punch Man in your own way? Because otherwise you will have to wait like 10 plus years. Facts on the 10 plus years part, by the way, like the One Punch Man manga is not ending anytime soon. But as for the question itself, right now I will finish the current arc and then there's gonna be one more arc after this. But I will not be going into any stuff that hasn't been covered by the manga yet. So no webcomic stuff and no content that hasn't been concluded in the manga. So like the Neo Heroes arc, for example, or any of the webcomic events won't be happening in my story. For now, I'll just kind of ignore them, push them to the side, just to write the story that I want to write, because we just don't know enough about the current events to really include them in a what if, and I don't want to do too much headcanon. "10 years, that depresses me." Yeah. It's gonna take time, but at the same time, look at the bright side. You'll have like 10 years of One Punch Man so ahead of you, so you know, it's not ending anytime soon. That's a good thing, I think. Then the next question is from SSJ5Hen. How do you voice the characters? Like, do you use SO or is that your voice? I don't know what SO means, but I guess it's like voice generators and stuff like that. Like, that's what the question is referring to. Uh, I only use my own voice. Sometimes I add filters to make it deeper, like change the pitch. And with God, I also had to add like several filters and tracks to conjure the voice of God, you know. Funny enough, with God, I actually originally just whispered into the microphone and like mimicked Lord Voldemort from Harry Potter. That was like the main idea for God's voice. But then I thought just to add various filters to make it better. But yeah, like for the question itself, I do all the voices myself. But I sometimes do add filters to deepen my voice, like with Orochi and Goketsu. Also with Bang, a little bit. I do change the pitch a little bit. I meant AI. Yeah, I understand. Which forms of Garo would deal with Sweet Mask human form? Probably most of them, honestly. Like, anything past Orochi fight could probably deal with Sweet Mask. Do you ever plan on hiring animators to animate your what-ifs? I wish I could, and I dream about it almost every day. And you know, maybe in 10 years, if I ever have like 100,000 subscribers or something, maybe I can start thinking about that. But right now, not yet. I can't really hire anybody yet, but I do really, like, it's a dream of mine to be able to hire actual animators to animate stuff. Well, the story is so good that we will never know depression. Facts. And do you think once One Punch Man is finished, you'll redo your Boros series, like add a Neo Heroes arc? Yeah, that's probably going to be what happens. Like, I'll revisit the Neo Heroes arc when it concludes, and then just fit it somewhere into the Boros story. I don't know if it'll change the events of what happens next in the Boros story, but it'll definitely get covered at some point. Then the next question from Discord would be, who in One Punch Man in any form can give Boros the closest fight without beating him, or most competitive fight without a complete stomp on either side? I would say Monster Garo, like at his peak, he could probably eventually overwhelm released Boros and force him into Meteoric Burst, which I believe would count as a satisfying battle for Boros. Because he was already pretty satisfied when Saitama was just surviving against his released form. So I think that's the closest fight, because after that, the next tier up would be Cosmic Garo and like Saitama, and those guys just beat him up. Blast could be interesting, but he does scale quite a bit higher than Boros. He would likely beat him pretty fast. So I think the closest fight would be Peak Monster Garo. I would happily animate it, but I'm not that good. I can only animate fights with stick figures. Hey, actually, like, stick figures wouldn't be bad at all. Like, I would actually like that. I would actually like to see that. Because I know some what-ifers have done that in the past. Like, Naruto Explained, I think, has done that before. Where he, like, gets people to animate some fights with stick figures. So I think that could work, actually. I heard steps from your dog, probably. What's the dog's breed? Labrador. He's laying on the ground next to me right now, actually. I think that's how you say it in English, like Labrador. Not too sure, though. The idea of God just being uncomfortably close and whispering in everyone's ear is now forever a thought I shall have. Yeah, it's a creepy thought, but yeah. You're awesome, dude. Oh, thanks. Right, so next question up from Random Waffles. By the way, shout out to Random Waffles. He's an OG. He's been here for a long time. He's been here for so long now. Almost 2 years, I think. Like, he's been there since, like, the Nagato versus Itachi video, I think. So, who are your top 10 favorite Naruto, One Punch Man, and Hunter x Hunter characters? Funny enough, I've done Naruto and One Punch Man already on YouTube Shorts for videos. This question was obviously proposed before I posted those videos. For Hunter x Hunter, I will post a video on that too, probably in the next few days. But for now, the top 5, in like no particular order, would be Meruem, Killua, Netero, Chrollo, and Pito. And then Hisoka at 6. Those are like the ones that are set in stone. Like the top 6, and then the others can change and vary a bit. Another question from chat. Could Bang deflect the Gaia cannon? Just a question. He said he can deflect anything. I don't really think he could, because the Gaia cannon is extremely large scale, and him saying he can deflect anything, like, could he deflect a serious sponge? I kind of doubt that. It's kind of a no limits fallacy. Where are you from originally? I don't want to say exactly where I'm from, but I'll just say from Eastern Europe. Who's your least favorite One Punch Man character? Oh, definitely Puri Puri Prisoner. He's so creepy. Like, in the anime, whatever, he's fine. But it's so bad in the manga. Like, there's an entire bonus chapter in the manga which just makes Puri Puri Prisoner be, like, such a disturbing character. It's really, really bad. Then the next question from Discord would be also from Random Waffles. What's your favorite type of content that you make, and what if story has been your favorite creating so far? For what ifs would be my favorite type of content. I just get to get creative with various characters. But I do like to take breaks from what ifs occasionally and just do other things like versus battles, or like I want to do some reviews or character analysis. Like for one that I really want to do is for Tokyo Ghoul at some point. And then what if story has been your favorite so far? Definitely Boros. Right now with Naruto stories, I'm kind of at a loss for what to do exactly with them, because I keep changing my mind. With Boros, I just have like this clear vision of where I want to take the story, what I want to do. So yeah, I would say my favorite is for sure the Boros story for now. Poland, final answer. No, it's not Poland. It's close to Poland though. Puri Puri Prisoner is worse than most monsters in the Monster Association. Facts. Well, I don't know. It's like, he doesn't go around killing people. Like, he doesn't go around doing that, which the monsters do. So, you know, it's like, I think Puri isn't like as bad as the monsters, but, you know, it is what it is. He's still a horrible human being. Tokyo Ghoul sounds really interesting. You should keep that idea. Yeah, I've read Tokyo Ghoul. I just finished it, like the last chapter a few days ago. So, yeah. I will keep that in mind. Sorry if this is personal, but how old are you? If someone already asked this, I didn't notice them. Yeah, I think I can say I'm 17. Close to Hungary, I'm from there, kind of similar accent. Relatively close, but not quite there yet. Like, I'm closer to Poland than to Hungary. I'm hyped to see Bang versus Goketsu. I'm hyped to write that. I'm still writing that. I'm in the middle of writing it. I'm hyped to finish it. I could see him being a pedophile. Oh no, please don't. Maybe I shouldn't have said that word out loud. I don't know if YouTube's gonna destroy me now. Next up, we have another question from Discord. I am sorry for butchering your name. Kylie Anthony 7506 Lego Skeleton. This is a spicy one. Who's better, Fubuki or Tots as a waifu? What do you guys think? Who's better? Who's better? Who's better, Tatsumaki or Fubuki? I'll give my answer when I hear yours. Wait, I got it completely wrong. I put 21. Really, or 17? Cool. 17 and that talented? That's impressive. Thanks. You're my age, cool. That's cool. Yeah, people usually get put off when I say 17. But I think I've said that once before in another Q&A video, which I now, took down. But yeah. Do you think the One Punch Man god could reach multiversal levels of power? He could. It's possible. Do you plan to have Cosmic Garo versus Boros? Okay, look. I plan to have something grander than that. A lot grander. That's the answer. Fubuki team forever. Oh no, Tots. Fubuki, she looks better, seems personality is better. Probably Fubuki. Tatsumaki would destroy me. They act like two legends, cannot coexist. Why not both? Start a harem. Okay, so my answer, it depends, cause Tatsumaki has two ways of being drawn. Cause if you go to the Monster Association arc, you'll see that she's drawn way different from where she is right now. Because in the Monster Association arc, she actually looks kind of like an adult. She's pretty decently tall. She's got the proportions of an adult. But then in the current arc, in the Saitama battle, she just looks straight up like a little kid. It's kind of weird how the art style changes. I'll say if it's current Tatsumaki, where she straight up looks like a little child with a chibi face, then Fubuki for sure, 100% no contest, because I'm not trying to get arrested. But if it's the quote-unquote prime Tatsumaki, you could say, the one that actually looks like an adult, then it's kind of close. I'd probably still say Fubuki, because she just seems like she'd be a lot easier to deal with on a daily basis. Because Tatsumaki would just be so controlling and just, it would be really hard to live with her. So yeah, I'll say Fubuki. Yeah, you guys not in the Discord missed how confident Satoru is and how legendary this final arc will be. Yeah, I usually don't say this stuff, but yeah, I do think it's probably gonna be a lot more hype than anything I've done so far. The finale for this arc and the finale for the next arc are both going to be a lot more hype than the 5-way battle royale that happened in part 3. So I'm pretty confident in them doing well. Wait, you're not even 18, nothing can happen to you? Well, yeah, but if she looks like a 10-year-old, I'm still not, I still don't feel comfortable. With all due respect, I ain't about to risk someone using telekinetic abilities to do something I won't mention on YouTube. I mean, technically Fubuki could do it too, Technically she could probably do it. Since I'm obsessed with power, I'll say Tatsumaki. Boros x Tatsumaki? No. Boros x Tatsumaki is not going to happen. Okay, so then another question from Kyle. I'll just say Kyle, because I don't know how to say the full name. Another one for the Q&A. How did you get into One Punch Man? Honestly, I do not remember. Like, One Punch Man is one of those anime where I do not remember how or why I got into it. I'm not sure why. I remember how I got into Naruto, Dragon Ball, Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter, Bleach, like Tokyo Ghoul. I remember how I got into all of those, but I don't remember how I got into One Punch Man. I guess I just kind of watched it at some point in my life. I don't know. Boros X Tatsumaki, hell nah. Yes, no, just no. I'm not doing that. That's not the point, like the Elder Random said. Please stop. That ship is an abomination. Yes, I agree. But people keep saying it for some reason. I guess the way I wrote part 11, like it's just like them having a heart-to-heart conversation as people. It's not meant to be taken romantically to any extent. Shoot, I gotta go. When I'm done, the stream will be there. Yeah, it will be. It will definitely be there. So you can still catch up. The Living Tribunal, I'm not even reading that. I'm not even reading that. Like, no. Just no. Another question from SSJ5Hen. Which S-Class hero has the most fighting spirit? I genuinely want to know, excluding Metalbat. And to make it easier, they are fighting with their most valuable thing to them on the line. So this one is kind of tough to answer, because you have a lot of good candidates. First one out is definitely Darkshine, like 100%. I would say the contenders are gonna be... Well, Metalbat, sure, but then other than that, it would be Tatsumaki. Definitely is one of the ones that are up there, because like she was fighting when she was like almost borderline unconscious against Psychos, and then later on too against all the cadres. Like she was just going out there full on, just ready to die if need be. So yeah, I do believe she has like some of the most spirit. Then King, maybe, but King is more so like kind of a coward. He does have bravery, but it's not like spirit. What other S-Class heroes are impressive in the spirit department? I'd say Tatsumaki, like off the top of my head. Someone send me the link. You can check it out when the community tab, like if the stream, like when the stream ends, you can go to the community tab on my channel and you can definitely see it. Do you know how to animate? I do not. I tried, but I do not. I am still asking for initial Cosmic Fear Garo with room to grow versus everyone besides God, Saitama, and Carnage Kabuto. Where the Carnage Kabuto memes are going around. You also have to exclude Gloribus, because Gloribus would one-shot. For the question, I think Garo would win, because like the generals, actually like Blast and Boros teaming up on initial Cosmic Fear Garo, that could be pretty devastating. So yeah, I would say there's a good chance that if they work quickly enough, Blast and Boros working together might be able to pull something off. Because everyone else is just completely irrelevant. Like, Cosmic Garo is just killing them with his mere presence alone. So it's basically Boros and Blast versus Garo. I'd say they have a decent chance to win, like, if they go for the kill right off the bat, like both of them in tandem. But other than that, I wouldn't... I would say Garo wins, probably. Tatsumaki is a true hero. Silverfang. Yeah. I'd say Silverfang is definitely one of the ones with a lot of spirit. It's just like off the top of my head, Tatsumaki's the first that came to mind. Not gonna lie, King is the bravest of all the S-Class. Yeah, for sure. Like, in terms of sheer bravery, he's definitely the bravest. Because, like, he has no powers, and he still puts himself in such situations like Elder Centipede. And granted, he knew Saitama would come, but still, like, he still went out there. And then he steps out in front of all the cadres. Like, he is definitely the bravest one. Do you read the webcomic? I do not. I've read the ninja portion because I needed to know what Flashy Flash and Sonic's relationship was for the Boros series. So I read that portion, but overall I'm sort of keeping out of the webcomic because I want to see the manga. Like, I want to see the events through the manga. Hypothetical, is Boros immune to cosmic radiation? Probably. He's like an alien. He travels on a spaceship. He's probably immune. Groribas meme force. Below Pennywise? No. Pennywise sucks in terms of compared to Groribas. Didn't Blast stop Serious Punch Squared briefly? Yeah, he did. So that's why I'm saying, like, they have arguments. But it's like, does Blast Portal scale to his actual attack potency and, like, durability? Because in terms of, like, what he did to Garo when he was punching him, he did, like, no damage. How about Blast Friends? Oh, yeah, true, but they're, like, kind of irrelevant right now because we just don't know how strong they are. I'd say, like, with all of them combined and Garo and versus Garo, and with Blast and Boros there too, they could probably take Garo down. In your what ifs, will be shipless? Yeah, probably. Like, there won't be any new ships going on in my what ifs. Do you think Goketsu is close to released Boros if we don't consider Boros' regeneration? No. I don't think Goketsu is anywhere near close. Blast friends are hanging out with Blast, probably relative to him, when even only considered Blast backup. Now, Blast said himself, like, he's going to provide backup to those other people. So, yeah. I would say that they're probably relevant to him. Alright, then, next question. Let's see. It's by Mr. Krabs Money. Would Satori voice act Puri Puri Prisoner in a future What If? No. I am not giving him any lines at all. And then he also said Satori voicing Hisoka for a What If. God, dude, Hisoka. Hisoka is one of those characters who I'm terrified to do a What If for. Because I know that he would have some lines eventually, and I would have to voice them. By the way, there was a funny video by Nuxtaku where he forces people to, like, voice scenes of Hisoka. that video was pretty funny. And that is it for the Discord questions. So, yeah, the Discord questions are over. Now we can move on to the questions from the community post. How Armored Boros versus Tatsumaki would play out. It's kind of weird to say because Armored Boros doesn't really have any speed feats, but he does survive a punch from Saitama, and you can argue him to, like, planetary. Or at least, like, multi-continental if you lowball the moon jump a little bit. So, it is, like, it's kind of a fun matchup, because Tatsumaki should also somewhat scale to those levels. Like small planetary, multi-continental, somewhat where Boros in his armored form would be. So, I do think it's a decent fight. Personally, I would still back Armored Boros, but I can definitely see Tatsumaki being able to break the armor. Do we have comics on Goketsu's martial art? There's a fan manga for Goketsu versus Bang. That's like the only thing I can think of for Goketsu's martial arts. Alright, so now getting into the questions that I have not seen yet. Well, there is one I have seen. I'll mention that a little bit later. But now we get to a question from Julius Schill. What's your favorite what if from another creator? Or just favorite what if creator in general? I really like Smugstick's content, as wacky and bizarre as it can be. It's always hype when he does his narrations. Smugstick is cool. I've seen a few of his videos, and I think my favorite one would be the time travel one, where like Goku and Vegeta and Trunks travel to planet Vegeta, like back in time. I think that's my favorite one, and they travel to a bunch of other like locations in time as well. So yeah. But as for in general, like favorite what ifs and favorite what if creators, favorite what if is probably going to be what if Jiraiya adopted Naruto by Plus Ultraman. I think that's my favorite. It could also be a bunch of other what ifs from Plus Ultraman, because in terms of like what if creators, he's my favorite one. Plus Ultraman's the OG, he's been around for a very long time. He's done a lot of cool what ifs about Dragon Ball, about Naruto. A lot of his stories are still ongoing. He's been like one of the biggest inspirations for me. So yeah, I would say he is my favorite. Goketsu versus Golden S. Golden S should take it. Willpower over psychic power, as shown by still training pre-limit breaking Saitama. It still shocks me you said Gorobus beats a cosmic horror that devours multiverses and transcends infinite universes. Oh, it's about the Pennywise thing. Honestly, I don't really care about Pennywise, no offense, but I don't care. Gorobus scales way above that. He one-shot all of Marvel and DC and all those other universes and all of fiction. He only loses to Lord Kakuzu from Naruto. Trapped and betrayed in the time chamber. Yeah, it's really not going to, like, all those what ifs are fine, but they're kind of like very weird. With like Goku being betrayed and stuff like that. What's the worst what if YouTuber you've watched? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Because if I don't like a what if, I probably just quit after the first part and then I just don't remember it afterwards. So I genuinely can't really answer that. Do you watch Donko? No, I do not. I don't actually know what Donko is. Prime Bang over Tatsumaki. I actually plan to do an S-Class ranking at some point, so yeah, I can still like give my thoughts on that later on. Then DL the Random asks, will Boros ever get a new set of armor? Because if not, how is the city going to get its eco-friendly energy? Yeah, this is referring to the One Punch Man what if, like pretty obviously. This one I actually hearted because when I first saw it in my notifications tab, I didn't notice that it was for the Q&A. So I just sort of like read it, placed a heart on it, prepared to reply, but then saw that it was under the Q&A. So yeah, that's why there's a heart there for anyone wondering if you go to the community post. So right now, I don't really have any plans for that going on, because Boros has been revealed. There's not really any point for the armor going around. But yeah, you know, maybe he can get a chip on his body that delivers eco-friendly energy to all the surrounding cities in the area. The best way to deal with a bad thing is to forget about it. I would say it depends, because like, getting all deep and philosophical here, forgetting bad things isn't always a good thing because you can learn from the bad things in life. And I would say that forgetting them is kind of a detriment, because if the bad thing was from you doing a mistake or from you doing something you shouldn't have done, or from you just trusting someone you shouldn't have trusted or whatever, it is something that's good to keep in mind, you know, just to learn from that mistake. But yeah, got too philosophical there for a moment. Have you ever cried while reading the One Punch Man manga? I have not. I have not cried when reading the One Punch Man manga. I have cried. Now it's 3 times. I previously said that it was 2 times I've cried when watching or reading any anime or manga. Now it's up to 3 times because I rewatched the final scenes of the Chimera Ant arc from Hunter x Hunter, and I couldn't help myself. So yeah, now it's up to 3 times that I've ever cried while watching an anime and manga. Achievement unlocked, unintentional glory. Prime Bang and Bomb versus Boros. Boros should definitely win. They might be able to break his armor, maybe, but other than that, like, released Boros is gonna clean them up. Murata did say Prime Bang and Bomb were unstoppable. Yeah, but they could have just been unstoppable during their peaks. Like, during that time. Are you supposed to cry? I'm not sure what that means. Have you ever watched Angel Beats? I have not, but by the way, Eternal Flame High. By the way, the video we have upcoming with Eternal Flame, he's in chat right now, has his own YouTube channel, does mostly JJK and Hunter x Hunter content. So, we have a Hunter x Hunter video coming up. Hands down, it's the funniest video I've ever made. Like, it's the funniest video on my channel, by far. It was so fun to record. The only time I cried was when I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I have not seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually. Strongest fictional character is Essential Divinity. I don't really... I'm not really interested in the whole, like, who's the strongest fictional character or most OP character. Demon Slayer ending equals sad. Probably. I'm anime only now. I had only read the Entertainment District arc before the season 2 of the anime came out, and then I kind of stopped reading. Just I'm on anime only now. Have you read Sakamoto Days? I have not. I always tear up. I've never cried for any media except horror because ratings were just suggestions. Hey, can I ask for something? Sure. You can ask. Prime Bang versus Monster Garo would be good. Yeah, I would say that fight would be pretty competitive. Depends on what version of Monster Garo, but yeah. Power scaling like A versus Z, it takes the fun out of things. Yeah, I would say so, because with What Ifs, one thing I enjoy is that I sort of just get to write my own fights. Like, without worrying too much about power scaling. Obviously, I can't write, like, Snek taking on Golden S or anything. But as long as it's not too outlandish, I can just have control over how strong the characters are in the story, which just makes things a lot more convenient. And when you get too much into power scaling, it can kind of ruin a series, because you start seeing so many inconsistencies and so many flaws. That's what happened with Naruto for me, because Naruto used to be my favorite series by a wide margin. Now I'm not sure if I like it or dislike it more. Like, it's weird, because whenever I think of Naruto, I'm not sure whether I think of the good stuff or the bad stuff first, because the bad stuff is mostly power scaling related, and me just debating people for a long time about things. Shouldn't Prime Bang be weaker than Old Bang because he's far less experienced? I'd say that's the thing with most old characters in anime, or fiction in general. The old guy is always more experienced, wiser, smarter, but he's just not as physically powerful. So, like, hypothetical Prime would be Old's, like, mind combined with the Young's body. Like, that's, like, what a Prime character would be like. Do you have physical copies of manga or read online? If you read online, do you play or, do you pay or, I read manga on Manga.C, which is a free website. I don't have any physical copies of the manga. Of any manga, really. Satoru just wanted to say I'm a huge fan of the Boros series and I've been around since the first episode. Keep up the good work. Thanks. I'm glad to have you around. Always glad to see people that have been around for a long time. Problem power scaling, to be honest. Yeah. Alright, let's get to another question from the Q&A, because we still have to get through it, you know? Like, I'm confident I can stay up for a few more hours, but I still want to get through it before I start speaking nonsense, because at some point I'm going to be tired enough to just start speaking absolute nonsense. So yeah, let's answer the questions. The Elder Random again asks, what is your favorite series to work on aside from the Boros one? Probably the Naruto Hokage one. I have a lot of ideas I want to do for that one, but I'm still not quite sure how to implement those ideas. Because like every time I sit down to write the next part, I just think of new stuff for it, so it's kind of weird like that. But I would say I still enjoy it. It's just that whole like sort of burnout with Naruto that I have. I'm still happy to like record videos with other people because I still enjoy talking about Naruto. But it's just that for my own channel, I'm kind of wary because every time I make a Naruto video, whether it be like a what if or a power scaling one, people just get really mad. In general, like from my experience, the One Punch Man community is a lot more chill than the Naruto community. When it comes to like inverse scaling or like discussion of who's the best character, when it comes to like scaling characters to other verses, and then the limitless Saitama arguments begin pouring in, that's a different story, but yeah. Do you read comics? They are good. I read some, but mostly my experience with comics is watching other people like sum up comics. Like for example, I think Comicstorian, I think that's what he's called. Like someone with a similar name at least has made an Injustice cover, like covering the entire Injustice series from DC. So that was really fun to listen to and watch. But in general, I don't really read comics. Do you guys think current manga Deku could beat most of the demon level One Punch Man and Human Gaara? I'm not too sure because I don't scale My Hero Academia. But there is that one panel where it says that he's like bending space or something, so you know, maybe he's 8th grade guy level. Who knows? That was a joke, by the way. just to make it clear. Where we just scale the C-class heroes in general. We do know from the bonus chapter, like numbers, where Child Emperor makes like a mask to measure power levels basically, that most C-class are way below even bear level. They're like mostly just humans, maybe just like athlete level, something like that. What's the strongest form of Garou Tatsumaki could beat? Probably the one from the Platinum S battle, I think. Because after that, he evolves further to the point where he can, like, blitz Platinum S. And then he also one-shots Sage Centipede. So I think, like, Perfected Fist Garou would definitely beat Tatsumaki. Before that, I think it's kind of debatable. When I'm tired, I start acting like a drunk maniac. I start acting like a dead man. Started watching your One Punch Man What Ifs last night. It's really good. Thank you. Who do you think the Mad Cyborg is? I do not know. I know the consensus is like Drive Knight. That's what many people think because of Jonin. I'm not sure. Right now I'm not really too interested in the Mad Cyborg because we just haven't seen much of him. Like, we haven't seen anything from him, actually. Well, a lot of us are here thanks to your Boros What If. You can be proud of yourself for creating it. Thank you. That's glad to hear. That's good to hear. Glad to hear. My brain is already short-circuiting. I'm already getting a bit tired, it seems. One Punch Man community also has some of the best artists, animators. For sure, bro. Red-haired guy? Animat? Like, these people. Bro, my dream is to someday get them to animate a What If of mine. Like, that is a dream of mine, to get, like, red-haired guy to animate something for me, because god damn it, he's so good. Animat too. He's doing Boros versus Garo, actually, right now. Animat. What are worse, DBZ fans or Naruto fans? Honestly, I am not too much into the Dragon Ball community, so I can't really comment too much. I don't like to generalize, because, like, Naruto also has a lot of chill fans. It's just more so, like, the contentious takes, like, some of the narrative stuff, some of the power scaling, Naruto fans get really heated over it. I used to get heated over it too. Nowadays, I'm just sort of, like, indifferent to a lot of it. Naruto community is nothing compared to One Piece. Hockey versus Chakra is hell. Bro, I still don't get why people debate One Piece versus Naruto. Like, the authors are friends, IRL. Like, when... Look, this is a real story, by the way. When the author of One Piece was, like, ill in a hospital, Kishimoto went to visit him. Like, a long time ago. And people are spreading rumors that, like, they wrote some One Piece chapters together or something. Like, I don't know about that, but, you know, it's like... That's how close they are in real life, and people just, like, debate to the death about, like, Naruto versus Luffy or some other topics like that. Naruto fans debate, but Dragon Ball fans are like, but can they beat Goku, though? Well, technically, like, the One Punch Man fans are also, can they beat Saitama, though? Like, I've seen a lot of that, too. So, you know. Red-haired guy, Saitama vs. Cosmic Garo is absolutely legendary. Facts. Like, that animation was goated. Alright, then another from the Elder Random. Do you like fish? I do. Fish are some of my favorite things to eat. Salmon is really good. Another fish that I don't know how to say in English, maybe like catfish is like a correct term, but catfish is like a bunch of different fish. Like, it's like a category of fish, but like salmon, catfish, I really like them. I also really like seafood in general. Grilled octopus, shrimps, mollusks, like, so good. Just mwah. Mwah. Chef's kiss. How's life treating you lately? It's treating me well. I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I would say I'm doing well. Can Boros read properly? He sort of can. In the Boros What If, he did have to learn the basics of the English language, but he's not like a professional. I'd say he's like maybe like, I don't know, 4th grade level, you know? Maybe something like that. Can they beat Itachi though? Yep. Itachi, the solo king, beating everybody in fiction with Tsukuyomi and Totsuka Blade GG. Anime fans in a nutshell. If you're not with me, you are my enemy. Facts. Honestly, facts. I used to be that way too, by the way. Like, I used to get triggered over everything and get into debates with people all the time, and that lasted for like half a year until I just burned myself out completely and got PTSD from it, and now I keep getting war flashbacks every time somebody ever like disagrees with me and leaves a negative comment or something on a power scaling video. What's your most anticipated moment for One Punch Man Season 3? Honestly, probably Flashy Flash versus the Ninja Duo, because that fight is awesome. That fight is goated. Probably top 10 fights in One Punch Man, honestly. Do you think Blast was affected by Saitama's time travel? Probably. Because, like, if he wasn't, I'm sure he would have approached Saitama by now. Because he would know how strong Saitama is. Maybe he would even want to, like, recruit him into his anti-god forces or whatever they're called. The heated stuff starts when you say, isn't Dragon Ball just people screaming for 5 minutes? Yeah. Those stereotypes are kind of overblown. He had his I have no enemies arc. Yes, indeed. Bro, it got bad at some points. Can Boros make friends with humans he meets, or someone must get his respect just to be friendly to him? Uh, right now, I would say they have to get like some respect from Boros, like to some extent, for him to like respect them. Because like with Fubuki, for example, in the series, Boros like tolerated Fubuki, but he didn't actually like view her as anybody like anywhere near close to him until she actually showed off her resolve to help Tatsumaki. That's when Boros was like, okay, this girl is actually quite good, you know, like she's actually got resolve. Okay, she has my respect. So like, for now, I view Boros that way. I almost said Boros. Why do you like Boros so much? I might address that in another video upcoming, like my top 10 favorite villains. But just to like give you a brief summary, I'm at the point in my life where I just don't really know what to do with my life. And there have been periods where I feel kind of empty. Like that does sound cringe, but like legit that's how I have felt during periods of time. A few weeks ago, there was actually a period like that where I was just like sort of not sure what my life is all about and stuff like that. Like it's only natural, I imagine, at this point in my life, because like I still don't know what to do. And so Boros being another character who's like searching for something that he just cannot find. It's sort of like Saitama, like searching for something that's kind of unattainable to you, but still like holding out hope, doing your best that it'll come to you and stuff like that. That's kind of me, to some extent. Like, I'll be able to articulate my thoughts better when I actually write out a script, but like, that's one of the appeals for Boros to me. And then Kisame is another character like that from Naruto, like why I like him a lot. Because of the whole, like, he's searching for a purpose, he's like doing his thing, like that sort of stuff. Yeah, I understand. I was a Paris killer debating for 2 months, and when I stopped, it felt like I stopped injecting poison into my veins. Exactly. Would Boros respect Moomin Rider? If he saw what he did against Deep Seeking, probably. Because, like, I imagine at this point, Boros would respect people with a lot of willpower. Why is there a conversation about Blast eating Carnage Kabuto in chat? Why is there a conversation about Blast eating Carnage Kabuto? You could climb a mountain. Maybe. Maybe I could. Not a tall one though, because like... if I went to Mount Everest, I wouldn't come back. Just that. Agreed, I'm in that spot as well. Yeah, it's like that point in your life where you just sort of have to figure things out. Do you think Naruto can survive in the One Punch Man universe? Oh, he can definitely survive. He can definitely survive. Like, he would be like bare minimum above Dragon. Like peak Naruto, like with the Sage of Six Paths modes as an adult. Like, he's definitely a top tier in One Punch Man, for sure. Like, along those Boros tiers, arguably a lot higher. The thing is his speed, though. His speed is kind of bad compared to the One Punch Man verse. That's, like, the biggest thing. Unless you subscribe to the whole, like, infinite speed Naruto, or, like, inaccessible because they travel through dimensions and stuff. Is it normal for people to be empty all the time? I mean, I don't really think so. But maybe it is. It's just like I've experienced it for the first time, and like over the last year or so is like the first time I've genuinely experienced it. P.S. Congratulations for 2K subs. Thank you. Do you think the Deep Seeking and Carnage Kabuto could be friends? Maybe, but at the same time I feel like they're both just gonna want to prove their superiority and like rule over each other. Or at least Deep Seeking would want to rule over Carnage Kabuto. And that would end poorly for Deep Seeking if he challenged Carnage Kabuto to a fight. Do you have a favorite crossover Naruto what if? Or have you not found anything good? I have not, like, watched many crossover what ifs. The only one I've genuinely, like, remember watching is Salad Saiyan's What If Gohan was in MHA. At some point, I want to do What If Naruto was MHA and introduce a bunch of Naruto characters into the MHA world, like, include them and come up with new lore for MHA and stuff like that. Like, that I feel would be a really fun series to do. So at some point, I might do that. But in terms of, like, existing series already, I don't really have any favorites with Naruto. Alright then, next question. Also from DL the Random. I'm still on the same comment. there are just several questions here. Will Boros interact with another member of his species from last group? Probably not getting an answer to this one, but yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna get that answer right now, because I do not want to spoil things or say that yes, it's going to happen, no, it's not going to happen. I'll say it's a possibility, like Boros might meet his the other member of his race. Might. But the thing is, right now we don't know anything about that other member of the Boros race. So I would just kind of have to make up headcanon to include him in the what if. What if Silver Fang ate Bomb and then they... What is this? What is going on? Silver Fang eats his brother. Bro, what? Diamond S versus Tatsumaki? Oh, Diamond S would stomp. Like, Platinum S versus Tatsumaki is already kind of debatable. But if Diamond S became a thing, like, he'd be, like, I don't know, a few times faster than Platinum S probably. So at that point, he's probably just blitzing Tatsumaki. So yeah, I would say Diamond S probably wins. Like, he'd just be fast enough. Why is Deep Seeking so weak when he's existed for hundreds of millions of years? Maybe that's the thing, like maybe he's existed for too long and he's just kind of become irrelevant at this point compared to the new monsters that are constantly being created by God. Like maybe that's the issue. But it's just kind of sad really, because there's like a statement that another monster in the manga that Puri Puri Prisoner just absolutely bullied was like as strong as Deep Seeking. Genos also destroys Deep Seeking multiple times in an audiobook, so it's kind of sad to see how Deep Seeking fell off. But, you know, it's just something that happened. Do you know enough about both Naruto and One Piece to do a crossover? I have seen only the first 50 episodes of One Piece, so I would say no, I do not. What is Diamond S? Are we playing Minecraft now? It's basically like hypothetical above Platinum S version of Black S, I guess. Like that's what we're going with. And now there's a conversation about cannibalism in chat. That is something. Alright, next question from the Great Pepsman. The Great Pepsi Man. Who is the most difficult character for you to write? Honestly, I'm not too sure. I feel like I have a grasp on pretty much all the characters, or at least what I want them to be for the story. So, I would say the hardest to come up with stuff for probably would be like... I don't know actually. I have no idea how to answer this. Because I feel like I have a general, like, solid grasp on every one of the characters from the Boros What If, or at least what I want them to be, like I said. But then, for Naruto, maybe Kushina from the Kushina What If. Because honestly, we just didn't get to see that much of her in the story. So I kind of have to think of my own stuff for her and to go off of what little we have seen of her. So I'd probably say Kushina from the Naruto What If. Rise and fall of deep seeking from immovable to irrelevant video when. Uh, that's actually kind of a decent video, like explaining why deep seeking kind of fell off and like the scaling for him. That might be a fun video to do. Then False Power asks, rate the Riz of every what if character you have. Boros have the unspoken Riz. Okay. Every character I can't really rate because every character would take too long, and I probably couldn't even name everyone off the top of my head. I would say probably Tatsumaki and Fubuki because they get like hundreds of simps all the time. Thousands of them, maybe even millions from around the internet. So they probably have the best Riz, to be honest. They get a lot of simps. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. I've never even thought of anything like this. If you had to look at your Naruto what ifs, which shinobi is the current strongest? Currently, from the Naruto what if, it's either Kisame or Naruto. Because Kisame has like the best matchup against Naruto, but in terms of physicality, they're like pretty relative, and then Naruto has a bunch of movesets that would be more effective against other people. So I'd say it's like between them. And if you take the Kushina what if into consideration, it's the same thing. Like Kisame and Naruto are just by far the strongest ones right now. Carnage Kabuto versus Goketsu. I want to do a video on Goketsu, honestly. Like at some point on how strong I think he is. Because I keep like flip-flopping. Like I either think he's like around Darkshine's level or above Darkshine's level. Like it depends. I need to re-examine all of his scaling. Riz rating when? Maybe we can do that after this. Like if we have the energy. Like there is a possibility that I can do like a tier list for One Punch Man Riz or something. All of Demon Slayer versus Deep Seeking. From what I know, Deep Seeking should win. But that's just from what I know. I haven't read the Demon Slayer manga. I don't scale the Demon Slayer series. So yeah. What if Goketsu was transported to Demon Slayer? Oh, Goketsu would show the demons who the real demon is. Like, Goketsu is like another beast entirely. Like, that I'm pretty confident in saying that he would like absolutely bully everybody there and just do whatever he wants. Who is the best fighter in One Punch Man between Garo, Bang, Bomb, Flashy Flash, Atomic Samurai, and Blast? Probably Garo. Either Garo or Blast. We don't know much of Blast's moveset, but Garo is just very adaptable. It depends on the version too. But Garo is extremely adaptable, has like multiple martial arts, has martial arts that are superior to Bang and Bombs, has many abilities in his cosmic form. So yeah, I would say those two. Probably Garo. Nagato isn't stronger than Kisame, making some big reaches with your boy. No, like, in canon, Nagato beats Kisame unless you do some rad arguments for Kisame, which I'm happy to do all the time, but, you know, like, genuinely, like, yeah, definitely Nagato beats Kisame. But that was a question about the Naruto what-ifs that I have. And Kisame in the Hokage series, like, I gave him so many boosts. He's, like, amped up by Hashirama, amped up by Zetsu, amped up by Bijou Chakra, amped up by Ninetales Chakra. He almost got the Rinnegan at 1.2, so yeah, he's definitely one of the strongest people there. What would Black S do to Demon Slayer verse? Eat them. He would probably eat them. Like, unironically, he like has to eat protein to get more cells. So like unironically, he would probably just eat them and get more cells and eventually cover the planet. Goketsu about to give Michael Jackson more PTSD than Yoriichi. Facts. Honestly, he probably wouldn't give him PTSD. He would straight up erase him from existence. Like, one punch and Muzan is just gonna be left like on the ground, just like a pile of mush, and then the sun is gonna rise, and then he's gonna like die or something. Would you make a video on the frauds of Naruto? Because Tenten would definitely be number one. Maybe. Alright, then, moving on. Wolf D. Hib, 22, asks, how many parts of the Boros Turn Good story will you make? So right now, there's gonna be... This current arc is gonna finish with part 15. And then after that, there might be... I'm not too sure how many parts there will be after that. Maybe like 5 or so. I think that's like a pretty decent estimate for the next arc's length. Because there's just a few things to wrap up. There will just be a few things to wrap up there. But it's going to be a massive like deal. But it's not going to be a very long deal. So I think like maybe the series might finish on part 20. But at the same time, we'll see. We'll see how things go. Do you think Goku and Boros would be friends? Oh, if Goku, like, saw Boros wanting to challenge him and, like, fought him and didn't kill him, I can totally see Boros getting super excited and just like, go crazy over Goku, and they would just become best friends, start training together. Like, Boros would enter the time chamber with Goku, train for him for, like, a decade or something, get, like, unimaginable levels of power, train with angels until he reaches Goku's level. And then they would just be like the eternal best friends. Like, I could definitely see that happening. Thoughts on God of War? I have not played it, but I do plan to play it sometime, probably. Your King of Riz has arrived. Kisame over Pain? Depends on how you argue, but you can genuinely make that argument, and it's not necessarily going to be wrong. Then the next question from DL the Random again. I'm going to take from Choi Jun book and see where this gets me. I'm assuming you're referring to the last Q&A where Choi Jun like made many questions. So, what were the grammar mistakes Boros made on his hero exam? I would say he forgot to... Actually, you know what? This is hard for me because I'm studying grammar in a different language. Like, for the most part, English is my second language, so... I actually don't know too much about English grammar. He probably misspelled the names of some cities or something, and he probably misspelled some other words. Maybe he said you was going to the church or something. I don't know. I don't know why that's the first thing that came to my mind, but maybe he said you was and I were or something like that. I don't know. Then, do you intend to make more holiday specials? I do plan to at least make one more for the Boros story, where the Christmas special part 2, where the rematch between Krampus and Boros. What other videos are you considering doing? Quite a few. For one, like the one that's in production right now is, well, in production in quotes, quotation marks, but like in the making, is Gon and Killua running Phantom Troop Gauntlet from Hunter x Hunter. Then there's some that I want to do for Naruto versus battles. Minato versus Tobirama. Minato and Tobirama versus Hashirama is one that I want to do. Then for One Punch Man, I want to do ranking the cadres, ranking the S-Class heroes, because I believe there's a lot to talk about there that many people have not talked about yet. Then, like I said, the Goketsu video, I might want to make how strong is Goketsu. For what ifs, I want to do some Hunter x Hunter what ifs. One I have in mind, sort of, is what if Hisoka trained Gon and Killua? Another one would be what if the Ants actually managed to win against humanity. Like, what would the world look like after Meruem won? Like, if he did manage to win somehow and avoided the nukes and stuff like that. Then, for Naruto, I do want to continue my Naruto series. Like, those are like the main ones right now. There are more what if ideas. Like I said, the MHA Naruto crossover. And a few others that I have written down, but I just don't have off the top of my head. Will some of the other monsters in What If Boros Turned Good also survive? We shall see. We shall see who survives and who does not. Will Boros ever give Saitama his money? He probably will at some point. When will... Then another question from Jose Salinas Morales. When will you do What If Tsunade raised Naruto? Because it's time to do the thumbnail. I can do that at some point, but I do want to finish up What If Naruto became Hokage after Pain before I start any new Naruto What Ifs. Kakuzu's raw durability to gaslight the entire fandom to make a meme so big there was an actual debate on Kakuzu versus Pain. Bro, the Kakuzu thing is crazy. I like Kakuzu. He's like one of my favorite Akatsuki members, but like, come on. What I miss? A bunch of questions, but you know, you can always rewatch the stream if you want later on. Tao Pai Pai versus Meruem. I don't really scale early Dragon Ball, but like, if you believe that early on, like the TN tournament, Goku is like already speed of light and like moon level, then there's not really anything Meruem can do. I physically felt that. What's the craziest Boros lowball you've seen? That he's only relativistic and he doesn't scale to Saitama at all, and Saitama one-shots himself from yesterday. So, like, the fact that Orochi clashed with Saitama even a little tiny bit in one single panel would mean that Orochi, like, one-shots Boros instantly. That's, like, the most low-bally one that I've heard. Do you think one of your What If characters would dab on the corpse of his enemy just to flex his power? Nobody knows what a dab is, so probably not. I know damn well I would. If you had the choice to rewrite Naruto completely, would you do it? Maybe I might do like a series of rewrites for Naruto, like for certain arcs, but in terms of fully rewriting all of Naruto, definitely not. Hisoka training them definitely gonna be weird the way he looks at those shorts. Oh my god. Bro, Hisoka is just that guy. Hisoka is just that guy. Hi. Hello. Do you think you will do any other One Punch Man characters turn good What Ifs? It's possible. Phoenix Man turning good is one I've heard a couple times, and that one does sound pretty interesting. Another one I would like to do maybe is what if Elder Centipede and Goketsu like lived? Because that's pretty interesting to explore, like what they could do in the story proper. But that would be more so a one-shot. By the way, another video idea I have for One Punch Man is like the Hero Association versus the Monster Association. But it's not just like... It's not the way it happened in the original, but it's like just them on a flat battlefield. Where like one organization versus the other. No matchups, no anything, just like a battle of armies. Obviously, Tatsumaki, Blast, and King would have to be taken out of the equation because then the matchup would become obvious. But that's something that I would want to do at some point. Got a dash? See ya, False Flower. Hope you have a good rest of the day. Platinum S versus S-Class all at once, no blast. I'm of the opinion that Tatsumaki does beat Platinum S, especially if like Flashy Flash and Bang can like distract Platinum S a bit for Tatsumaki to set up some like barriers and then crush him or something. Like I definitely think S-Class would win because of Tatsumaki. Then Yordi guy asks when/how will Saitama play an important role in What If Boros Turned Good. I will say, like, I won't say what role exactly he plays, but I will say he has a much bigger role in the next arc. Like, he has much bigger roles in the next upcoming arc. This one is just more so about Boros. The next one is gonna be the actual, like, part where Saitama gets to do stuff. Is there going to be any more Naruto what ifs? At some point, probably. But I have to sort of get to them. Because with Naruto, I'm a little burned out at the moment. Hot take, but Naruto's power escalation was fine the whole series. I mean, the manga starts off talking about Nine Tails being able to flatten mountains with a swing of a tail. For the most part, yes. I do believe the whole, like, dimension hopping Otsutsuki, debatably, like, universe busters or whatever, like, people argue that. That's a little absurd, but, like, with planetary star level, I can definitely see how Naruto would go from, like, mountain level to that. So, yeah, I would say it's fine. Monster Association over Hero Association, even if with Tatsumaki and King No Blast. Now, I would say Tatsumaki by herself just sort of squishes everybody there. Like, honestly, unironically. I'm surprised Phoenix Man never thought to ask his fellow monsters to kill him once or twice to get stronger before the heroes invaded their place. He actually didn't really know he could regenerate like that. At least that's the impression I get, because he's like, he like revels in the fact that he was able to overcome death when he resurrects for the first time. So I would say it's possible that he didn't know about his ability to resurrect beforehand. I would say it's definitely possible. Question, where do you think Prime All Might would rank among the S-Class heroes? I know for a fact Tatsumaki, Kokusimba, Darkshine, potential Prime Bang are unknown to me. They're unknown to me too, to be honest. I don't really scale My Hero Academia. I will say in terms of speed, One Punch Man is really crazy. So, like, I don't know if All Might would have the speed to keep up with any of the top tiers. I can't really answer that. Never mind, your king has returned. I burnt my grilled cheese. Welcome back, False Power. What happened to the cheese? What happened to the cheese? Then another question from Marcus. How would L act if he was really in the Akatsuki? Who would be his partner? And would he be a double agent? Okay, if he was like actually in the Akatsuki and dedicated to the Akatsuki's goals, he would 100% call Obito and Pain and everybody else there absolute idiots. Because the Akatsuki, in terms of like plot, I get why they didn't do a lot of the things that they could have done. But like during the Pain arc, Pain is ordered to go capture Naruto. Okay, just to completely make sure that Naruto is fully captured, why doesn't Obito and like Kisame go there with him? Why don't they just like come along and just decimate the village and capture Naruto easily? Why doesn't Obito by himself go capture a bunch of Jinchuriki after the Akatsuki members find them? Why don't the Akatsuki members like all work together mostly? Like Kazekage Rescue, like what if Deidara and Sasori were assisted by Kakuzu and Hidan? Like what if 4 Akatsuki members were there instead of 2? The answer is the protagonists get cooked and Naruto gets captured. Like L would completely reorganize the entire Akatsuki and how they operate. He would probably get rid of the duos, and like as soon as a Jinchuriki gets discovered, he would like send several members just to completely ensure complete victory. And yeah, like the protagonist would have no chance because L is actually smart, unlike Obito. Which, you know, Obito is smart in universe, but it's just like the plot just didn't allow him to do certain things. False Power, you are a true Chad. Wara Kakashi has the most annoying power scaling, and his power came out of nowhere. I mean, before Chakra was a problem, but now Kakashi has no problems with it. He still has problems with it, but the thing is with Kakashi, he goes from being like KCM Naruto level to keeping up with KCM Minato to being able to run in a dimension where Kaguya, Sage of Six Paths Naruto, and Sage of Six Paths Sasuke are struggling to even stand up. So, yeah, and that's in base with no Sharingan or anything. Like, he actually had his Sharingan ripped out, and he's like running in a dimension where Kaguya is struggling to even stand up. So, you know, it's kind of bad. Then, the Jesus asks, what's your favorite food and drink? Food, for sure, grilled octopus. Grilled squid, too. Those two are just chef's kiss. Like, they're so good. I would love them. I love them already. Would is not necessary in that sentence. And then, drink? Honestly, probably water at the moment. Water is really underrated. Stay hydrated, everybody. Drink water. But in terms of other drinks, like, I like cocoa, I like various kinds of green tea, I like some juice and stuff. Fresh orange juice is good too. So yeah, but my favorite drink is probably water. What are some of your favorite pieces of media, games, movies, shows, etc.? Right now, the first one to come to my mind is, I think the English version is called Ranger's Apprentice. It's like a series of books. So that's like the first book that I truly fell in love in was Ranger's Apprentice. And it's definitely still like up there in my favorite fictional media and stuff like that. Then other media would be How to Train Your Dragon. It's very good, very fun movies, very fun TV show. Transformers Prime is another one that I really enjoy. Then from anime, Naruto, Hunter x Hunter, Tokyo Ghoul. One Punch Man can be included too in that. From games, Subnautica. That's my favorite game of all time. Movies. That one's a little more difficult. Puss in Boots 2 is really fire. I just watched it a couple weeks ago, I think now. So that's fresh in my mind. I ate squid once, then I have to leave the aquarium. I did not mean squid like that, but okay. Yo, Loco, what's up? By the way, everyone, if you like Naruto content, you should definitely check out Loco, because he makes Naruto content on a semi-consistent basis. He makes good content. W Transformers, yep. Transformers is awesome. Great choice of book series, by the way. Thank you. Have you seen / played Asura's Wrath? I have not. Bewildebeest versus Overgrown Rover. Ooh, that is I think Rover stomps, but Bewildebeest he's powerful, but he just doesn't have any speed scaling or durability scaling that would put him on Rover's level. I still have PTSD from Subnautica. Yeah. Subnautica is that game. Like, it's that game. It's an unforgettable experience. Like, you can't overhype Subnautica, man. Like, it's impossible. Subnautica's so good. Do you dislike ships in your what ifs? I mean, I don't dislike them, but I feel uncomfortable riding any ships. So I just don't ride them. Because, again, I don't feel comfortable riding ships. Semi-consistent? I mean, it is, like, at this point, it's semi-consistent. Like, literally playing Subnautica right now. Oh, W. W for that. Subnautica's awesome. Monster vs. Godzilla versus all Bijou in a 1v1. I don't really scale Monster vs. Godzilla, but the Ninetales can be scaled to like planet level if you take some guidebook statements. If you don't, then he like based off calcs ranges from like country to like multi-continental. So it's kind of weird. I'm not really qualified to answer that one though. Then another question is, what is the color of socks you're currently wearing? Black. Black socks. Just plain black. And why did my father leave me? Because he was not good enough for you. He felt he was not good enough for you, and he did not want to disappoint you by staying, because he knew he could not meet your standards for a father. Deep Seeking versus 100 Reaper Leviathans. I mean, Deep Seeking kind of stomps, unfortunately, you know. The Reapers have no speed scaling. What if Moomin Rider met Saitama a few months before the start of the story and started to train exactly like him? Would he decide to leave C rank and go higher up if he gained some strength from it? In a few months, he probably wouldn't be getting that much stronger, because it took Saitama 3 years to break his limiter. But then, I think he could still reach like A-class levels of power probably in a few months. So, he could probably move up. If Boros from your What If was transported to the same universe with Godzilla, what would happen? Oh, Boros would be hyped about like taming Godzilla as a pet. That's like for sure something he would think about, like he did with Rover. And then they would probably fight. Monsterverse, Boros probably wins against Godzilla. And then he would like try to tame him, but Godzilla obviously wouldn't be taking any of that because he's like actually intelligent. So like, it could be a pretty funny dynamic. I also just imagine like, I just imagine like Boros riding on King Ghidorah too, like riding into battle. What is the ship in Naruto you wish you saw? Honestly, none. Because, like, Naruto ships are kind of bad. In all honesty. Like, the relationships in Naruto just don't... They're not high quality. Could be talking about half the Nine Tails being planetary. Yeah, it's like... It's weird with the scaling for the Nine Tails. Monsterverse Godzilla has multi-continental feats from blowing a hole in the earth and scaling to Ghidorah, creating a natural cataclysm. Yeah, but still, like, Boros in his released form is, like, planetary already. So, he could probably have, like, a fun time fighting Godzilla, but eventually he would, like, pin him to the ground and then, like, I guess threaten him like he threatened Rover, something like that. Boros, be pet. Yeah. Then the next few questions are from Samet Balk. Can Blast beat Cosmogaro alone? And can Tatsumaki beat Armored Boros? Tatsumaki versus Armored Boros is something I already touched upon. I think Boros does have the edge, but Tatsumaki might be able to break his armor depending on how you scale her. Then Blast versus Cosmogaro alone. The thing is, Blast can react to like serious punches from Garo and Saitama, and he can contain them temporarily. So he does have good scaling. But the thing is, if he could have just like dealt with Garo immediately, I feel like he would have done that. Like he would not have risked the well-being of the planet. And there's like no reason for him to be holding back in speed or power before the battle starts. It's like when he learns that Garo can copy abilities, like he learns that after a few moves already. So I feel like if he could have, he was probably just like he would have dealt with Garo right off the bat, but he couldn't. So I feel like Cosmogaro does have that one. Then Boros. Hey, Genos. There you are. Where were you? Oh, wait, no. Hold on, I'm gonna try to voice act this. Hey, Genos. There you are. Where were you? What the hell is that? Points at Godzilla. He has him with ease. Boros. Oh, I thought Rover could use a friend was all. Yo. Yeah. Yeah, that would be something. That would be an interaction. See Monster vs. Godzilla versus 8 and 9 Tails being a good fight. Yeah, they could probably be that. Was my question read when I wasn't there? Uh, no, I don't think I read your question yet, Ryan. No, I have not. I have not read your question yet. Blast full power over Cosmogaro. It's fair, but it's debatable. What is your take on the long time question, Saitama versus Goku? Right now, Goku absolutely stomps, in my opinion. Maybe if Saitama gets more feats later down the line, maybe he can win, but right now Goku should definitely win. Gamer Bro, he said Goku wins. Goku bodies Saitama. Yeah, it's like, right now it's not really a fair fight. Then Someone A asks, what if Danzo stayed alive? That might be a what if topic, because off the top of my head, I can't really say much. I would think that he would have some sort of impact on the war. Like, he would definitely be accused by the other Kage and Tsunade too for like trying to steal power and stuff like that, like trying to manipulate the outcome of the Kage summit. So I feel like he would become a criminal if anything. Like, he might just be like a wild card in the war because he's like not accepted by either side. So that might be fun to like think about, but at the same time he's not really strong enough to do much in the war, at least in the late stages. Tatsumaki versus Omni-Man. I have not seen Invincible yet. I do plan to watch it sometime. What if Shrek was in One Punch Man? Oh, Shrek would body everybody. Shrek would, like, Saitama and Shrek would have a handshake, and Shrek would press Saitama's hand so hard that it would like, break into pieces. So yeah, Shrek would definitely defeat the entire verse. The Eternal Flame asks, why did I catch you doing the gritty on Loco's grave? Loco replied, bro, what? Actually, here's a question. What is the gritty? I genuinely do not know what that is. I genuinely don't know what it is. My Pet Spider is outer Versa level. What if Jiraiya survives against Spain? That could be a fun one to do, but it would likely be a one-shot what if because I don't see him impacting the war too much. What if Jigen was in the Fourth Great War? I already made a video on that, actually. Like, what if Jigen entered the Fourth Great Ninja War? There's a video on my channel right now. Shrek superior, heroes inferior. Like the Soundwave reference? Well, ask every character besides Saitama and God versus initial Cosmic Fear Garo that is allowed to grow in strength. That's the question that we already talked about a little bit. I think they do have a good chance if you give them Blast's team, like Blast, his team, and Boros versus Cosmic Garo. I feel like they could pull it off. But if it's just like, if we just take the characters that we can actually like fully scale, which would be Blast and Boros, then I feel like it's a close one, but Garo growing in strength might be like too much. Then Vandal Phoenix asks, hypothetical video idea. Saying a lot of things as video with your Boros voice and others. I don't know, thought it would be funny. Honestly, I could have done that with a bunch of the questions. Like, trying to voice a bunch of the questions like that. Transformers Prime was so good. Yes, it was. Yes, Transformers Prime is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Stan Starscream. Starscream is the best character, the GOAT. Ain't no way this man hit the gritty on someone's grave, then had the audacity to say what's a gritty. I genuinely don't know. I genuinely do not know. Do you think Jiraiya is overrated or underrated? For the most part, I feel like he is overrated by the general community, but he might be kind of underrated by the power scaling community. I feel like that's how I view it, but Jiraiya is a weird one because he doesn't have many feats to speak about. He has a lot of lore, but that's about it. Optimus Prime in One Punch Man verse. From Transformers Prime, with the Star Saber, he might actually be able to do some stuff. But I don't really think he has that many feats. Unless you say like the lasers that the Transformers shoot out are light speed. Like if their blasts are light speed, because we see characters like dodge those attacks. Like when RC dodges like a shot from Shockwave. So like if you think that's light speed, then Optimus might Loki go hard. Because like if he scales to light speed and stuff. But if not, then he's probably gonna be like a demon level maybe, something like that. Maybe Tiger. If he's not light speed, but if he is, then he could be like S-Class level for sure. What if you were in One Punch Man? I would be scared for my life because there would be monsters running around and doing all sorts of like devastating stuff. So, yeah, I would actually, I would hide in my basement and do the Saitama routine for a while until I am confident that I can survive in there. That's what would probably happen. If Marugiro was not evil, he became Saitama's friend and just discovered the void of power. Since Saitama is so much of a laid-back guy, he wouldn't care. Remind me, who's Marugiri again? Because I actually don't remember. Optimus Prime, Solo's One Punch Man. I guess depends on the version, because there's like comics and stuff, but I'm referring to just strictly Transformers Prime, like the TV show. God tier show for Transformers Prime for sure. What if Nagato gave Naruto his Rinnegan? I'm pretty sure that has already been done a couple times, but I'll see. Like, I think I can try to watch a few of those videos and see if I have any other ideas. I might do that. Starscream is a snake and a rat, and I love him. Yes, sir. I believe in Soundwave supremacy. Soundwave is awesome, dude. Soundwave, Shockwave, Starscream, Knockout, Megatron, like Optimus, RC. There are so many good characters in that show. It's actually goated. I actually might need to rewatch it soon, because it's actually goated. How was Black S born? We do not know. The giant is at episode 1. Oh, like, you mean Beefcake? The giant of first episode is Marugiri. Okay, so, yeah. Maybe he could become a friend, but, like, he would still get hunted down by, like, the S-Class heroes. And I'm sure, like, Saitama might not be around to protect him at some point. You know, like, maybe at night Saitama's sleeping, like, the Beefcake is, like, sleeping outside the city in the mountains or something, and then Tatsumaki just jumps and kills him or something, you know? I feel like it wouldn't change too much, because Saitama couldn't guard him 24/7 from the stronger heroes who could actually kill him. Starscream got mauled by Predaking. Yeah, but it's sort of like, isn't it revealed later that he, like, survives? Because there's, like, another show that's, like, way worse than Transformers Prime that takes place in the same universe as Transformers Prime, and they have, like, Starscream in there, I think. Legendary Godzilla vs. Rover, who wins? I'm not too sure. If Godzilla scales to, like, multi-continental and stuff like that, then he would probably win, because Rover doesn't have that kind of scaling. So, probably Godzilla. Then the next one, Swing Crimson. Have you heard of the Eminence in Shadow? I have not, actually. Wait, by the way, for the next one, for the previous question, like saying a lot of things as video with Boros and a bunch of other voices, if you want, I could try to make that video, or I could do it live on stream. You could just send me a bunch of sentences and then what voice I could say them in. I could try to do that. If anybody wants to hear that. I'd be down to that, for that. Then, SCSANDHYA, I am not pronouncing that name, asks, will Boros get a new form? We shall see. I do not want to spoil anything about the upcoming arcs or parts, so For now, I'll just say we do not know. Then, another person with a name that I'm not going to even attempt to pronounce, IGFLXCKSYT, asks, how does Limitless work? I'm assuming from Jujutsu Kaisen. I have not read the series, I'm anime only, but from what I know, it like works on like a paradox, like thought experiment from a long time ago, where it's like the distance between him and his enemy like infinitely increases as the enemy tries to reach him or something like that. Like, I'm pretty sure that's something along those lines, but I'm not sure. Boros over heaven when... Bro, Boros meeting Dio would be so funny. If Marugiri would be human size, it would work. Yeah, it could, but like when he's a giant, he's just not going to be able to go unnoticed. So he would probably get hunted down. Then the next question, again from DL the Random, asks, is Boros better at video games than Saitama? The thing about Boros is that he's like almost a giant canonically. He's like over 2 meters tall. So his fingers would probably just like not be able to mash the control buttons. Like he would just like mash multiple buttons at the same time because he just doesn't really have like nimble enough fingers or like narrow enough fingers for that. So Saitama would probably beat him. Not to mention that Boros would probably break every controller because he still doesn't have like that much control over his strength. Limitless is just a portrayal to my infinite Riz. Ben 10 and One Punch Man is a cool idea. Yeah, he could be. Like transforming into a bunch of the monsters that we've seen. That could be pretty interesting. I feel like this is an interesting question. What if Orochi gained the God Amp? Would he gain the same boost as Garo or even higher since he's technically over 100 beings smashed into one being? Maybe, but at the same time, we already know that Psychos and Orochi got a God Amp when they like fused together. So it might just be the case that Orochi just isn't strong enough to receive the same boost that Garo did. Like, he might not be able to go cosmic. So yeah, I would say that it's interesting, but I feel like Saitama would still be able to beat him without too much trouble. What's your mother language? I don't really want to reveal that because then you'll know exactly where I live. So yeah, I don't really want to say that. Thoughts on Batman Arkham series? I have not played it. There's a lot of stuff I haven't played or watched. If Boros-sized controller exists, he would be the emperor of all video games. Yeah, maybe. Maybe he could be. Could Jiraiya have trained Naruto better in the 3-year gap? Yeah, he definitely could have. He should have trained it. Who got more damage in the story, Genos or Yamcha? In terms of physical damage, definitely Genos, because Yamcha just got blown up once and stabbed once. Genos just gets bullied and dismantled in like almost every single fight, losing his limbs and like getting torn apart. So yeah, probably Genos. Ben 10 turns into Boros race and does his evolution 10,000 years from Boros. Maybe. Maybe that could be fun. But then I feel like he would probably beat Boros. Then the next question is from I Am. Is Hajun boundless? I do not know who Hajun is. So yeah, I can't really answer that one. Then Random Waffles asks top 5 anime villains. I actually have a list ready for that. Let me just pull it up real fast. I can say that. Let's see, who did I have? So top 5 in no particular order. is gonna be Pain, Meruem, Kisame, Crollo, and Arima from Tokyo Ghoul. Arima is not really a villain, but he is an antagonist, so I am including him. Those are the top 5. In terms of anime villains. Like I said, I'll be making a video on anime villains at some point, so I'll like explain why they are there in the video. To be honest, with how bored Boros was in his conquest, I could see him doing his planet's version of video games, including Boros Battles X. Yeah, maybe. He probably would. Oh, so we ignoring emotional damage now. Bro got his girl rizzed up and couldn't do anything. Yamcha definitely. I mean, if it's emotional damage, then Genos did go through quite a lot, like coming to the realization that Saitama doesn't really care about him and stuff like that. But then at the same time, Yamcha got his girl stolen by the person who killed him. So, yeah, that is a lot of emotional damage. Can I ask, is Boros your favorite character, as he is in canon series, or your what if warmed you up to him a lot more to put him on that spot, if you don't mind me asking? I think it's a little bit of both, because I always liked Boros, but the what if definitely makes me fonder of him, that is for sure. But even just with the episodes and manga chapters that he has in canon, I feel like he's still my favorite character on One Punch Man because he's just so solid. Like there's no negatives to him. Then Garo versus Kid Buu. Personally, I would bet Kid Buu because he's got a lot of crazy feats. Genos keeps comparing himself to Saitama when he knows Saitama sneezed Jupiter. yeah, he's kind of going to be disappointed in himself because he's never reaching like Jupiter levels or anything. Then Zurens asks a question that I probably cannot say on YouTube. I don't know. Then the next question is your top 5 what if fights. So I'm assuming like top 5 favorite fights that I've written in my what ifs. That's actually pretty interesting. I would say number 1 is definitely the finale of the Boros series, the way I'm imagining it right now. That's definitely number 1. But that's not happened yet, so I'm not going to count it. The 5-way clash between like Boros, Tatsumaki, Platinum S, Sairochi, and Seiichi's MP is definitely one. Another one would be the fight with what's his name? Evil Ocean Water, like where Boros reveals himself. Then the whole Boros reveal, Tatsumaki Fubuki character development, that's really good. Another one I really enjoy is Kisame versus Naruto and the Kage in the What If Kisame Turned Good series. And then another one is Orochimaru versus Konoha from the What If Kushina Turned Good series. I think that's like the top 4. In no particular order, because this is like off the top of my head. So, yeah, I would say those are my favorites from the ones I have written so far. Then another question, what if Kakuzu versus Pain? Kakuzu versus Hashirama. Kakuzu wins. Did you not read the bonus chapter where Kakuzu beat up Ishiki? The Boruto manga chapter, like the bonus chapter? Oh, Kyle Breeze says, congrats on 2K. Thank you. Thank you very much. What if Boros from your What If was transported to Demon Slayer? How would he interact with the Upper Moons and the Hashira? Honestly, he would just like beat them all to prove his superiority, and then he might just ask the demons to like train infinitely so they can one day match him. Like I could definitely imagine something like that happening. Like he makes the demons his disciples so they can train under him and like get strong enough to actually give him a fight. It's a shame though, Genos is very strong. He's just putting his power with someone who's far, far too strong for most people to compare. Yeah, like he's gotten way stronger already. He's like clashing with Sairochi and stuff like that, so he's definitely a powerhouse, but he's just comparing himself to like someone who he can probably never reach. So yeah. Orochi versus Orochimaru. Yeah, the names are similar. Orochi would probably win though, like in a fight. How does Tatsumaki beat Evil Ocean Water? Just takes all of them and chucks them into space. That's the most simple solution I see. Gargle Garo beats Meteoric Burst Boros. Debatable, but I'm of the opinion that Boros like one-shots. Simon, I am not answering that question in chat. No, just no. I am not reading that out loud either. Which arc would Saitama stop at in Dragon Ball if he had to fight that arc's villains? Depends on how you scale him, because like, if you lowball Garo, and you believe that the Serious Punch, like, coalition was squared, because there's an argument to be made that that was like the squared power, then you can like legitimately downscale him to like large planet or star level. And if that's the case, then he loses to like Namek Saga Frieza, unless he copies Frieza and then just beats him up. But if you like give him more like generous scaling and do say that he's like multi-solar system galaxy, maybe multi-galaxy, who knows, then he probably like stops at around Kid Buu or Buhan. He might still be able to beat them, especially if he copies their power. But if not, like, he could beat them, but it's not very likely. I would say this, it's a debatable matchup. And then definitely stops at anything from Super, because the Golden Frieza Beers, they're just washing him. Kurama versus Rover. Personally, I'm backing Kurama, but it might be a decent fight. How long does it usually take you to write a script for a video? Also, congrats on 2K. Thank you. The thing about that is, like, right now, I'm writing a pretty large script, and the conversion, I guess, is like around 1 or 1.5 pages per 40 minutes right now, like how I'm writing. Maybe like closer to 2 pages, but like something around that. Most parts are usually around 5-6 pages at least. So that's sort of an indication. It also depends on how much dialogue there is. Because if there's a lot of dialogue, then the pages like go by a lot faster. Because when I do dialogue, I do them at like, I press enter after like every dialogue line. So there's a lot more rows and the pages go by faster. If there's more of an action scene with less dialogue, then the text is a lot more condensed and it takes like less pages to do the script. So like overall, it takes like a few hours for the most part. Sometimes if the script is really long, it takes a few days. I also, like, those few hours usually are not in like one single session. I usually write it in like 2-3 sessions. Transformers live action versus Attack on Titan. I mean, I don't scale either of those verses, but I feel like Transformers should win because they're pretty tough. Like, they could probably chop apart the Titans pretty well. Could Golden S beat Orochi? It's debatable, but I will say Golden S shouldn't be that far below Platinum S, who most people seem to think would beat Orochi. So, because Golden S is like made up of like 40 trillion and Platinum S is like 50 trillion cells. Not exactly, but it's like around those numbers. Who would you say Genos is closest to power-wise in the S-class or abilities anyway? Closest to probably around like Metal Bat, Flashy Flash Bang level. like around that tier. He's like one of the top tiers. He's top 6 for sure, maybe top 5, maybe top 4. Arguably even top 3. Not counting Blast, of course. Blast is like another animal entirely. Does Tatsumaki even have enough psychic power to lift all of even Evil Ocean Water? She should be able to do that, because she can block beams that are calced at like multi-continental to moon level. And Ocean Water is calced to be around multi-continental by just being able to like move all the water in his body and maintain it and, you know, not collapse due to gravity. So yeah, Tatsumaki probably has enough power, honestly. Congrats on 2K. When are we getting that special 2K video scaling Freddy who one-shots Goku? The Discord conversations about FNAF scaling were wild. But thanks on the congratulation. Neo Heroes versus Hero Association. I do not know enough about the Neo Heroes yet, because I have not read the webcomic for the most part. Wouldn't you have to pull a bit from the webcomic for Neo Heroes, or is there enough on them in the manga now? Yeah, I'm not doing Neo Heroes at the moment. I'm gonna skip them, and then I'm gonna go back to them at some point later on in the story. I've already answered this one, by the way, if you were not in the beginning of the stream, because I don't remember if you were or not. So, just in case, I've already answered that question in the beginning of the stream. Shouldn't Garo be at least multisolar based off the Shake the Universe statements that Murata retweeted? To some extent, yeah, but at the same time, it could be hyperbole. Like, it could be, it might not be. I just think, like, overall, in general, I don't really care where Boros and Garo scale to other verses. So, I just sort of view them more as relative. But yeah, an argument can be made. Wonder how Spiral Garo would do against Orochi in a rematch. I believe Orochi would win, but Spiral Garo would do, like, decently well. Then the next question from Zurens again. Your top 5 what-if interactions. Interactions, I'm not sure, but I can say character dynamics. Because I don't know, like, off the top of my head, I probably can't think of, like, specific interactions. So I'll just say for character dynamics, I would say Boros and Tatsumaki is one that I really enjoy writing. Another one is Bang and Goketsu right now. I'm really enjoying writing that. Another one that will be extremely fun to write will be Boros and Garo. Boros and Genos is also pretty fun. Then Boros and a certain other character that I cannot reveal right now is also gonna be a fun dynamic to write. Then from Naruto, Kisame and Naruto, there's gonna be some interactions between them in the next parts, so that's something that I'm looking forward to writing. So those would be my favorite interactions from them. What are your top 5 favorite One Punch Man manga panels? Right now I can't really say, because like, there are so many, I would have to go look through them. The first to come to mind is like the panel where it shows the earth being sliced by Sairochi. Like the aftermath of that, where the continent is like lifted, because that's awesome. That looks absolutely amazing. That's like the first one that comes to my mind, but there are a bunch more. Then another one, have you seen Fairy Tail? What's your opinion? I have not seen Fairy Tail, so sadly I cannot answer. Favorite Marvel character? Probably Tony Stark, because he's really good. Thanos is really good as well. Yeah, I would say from the MCU, Thanos, Tony Stark, maybe Spider-Man as well. Tom Holland's pretty good at it. Have you seen Storm Connections updates? I have not played a single Storm game, by the way. I just don't have the gear for that, unless they're available on PC, which I don't know if they are or not. Then, will you upload or stream Storm Connections? Maybe, but I don't plan to. When is your next Naruto? What if? That's tough, because, like, I want to do it, but at the same time, I don't want to do it. It's like, it's weird. I'll say maybe this month, maybe the next month. I don't really want to make people wait too long, but yeah, I'd say, like, maybe this month. God on the Moon panel and God meeting Homeless Emperor panel is really good. Yeah, when the manga becomes colored and like God comes out from the moon, like that's an awesome panel as well. Awesome panels, like many of them. They're all amazing. Then Wolf asks, are you going to make a webcam video in the future? Maybe in the far future, but at the moment I do not plan to make any webcam content. Then Devesh asks, where do you live? Eastern Europe. That's a question I've answered earlier on. Are you a student? Yes, I am a student. What is your favorite genre? Of books, of music, of TV, of movies. Of movies, I would say probably like thrillers, action, sci-fi. I really enjoy those. Fantasy is good, but personally, sci-fi is something I really enjoy, and thrillers. For music, honestly, like a lot of genres. I think a lot of them are really good, because like I like metal, I like rap. Pop is something I don't really like that much. I like rock, I like a lot of other music. Like there's a bunch of music I really like. You from Kazakhstan? No, not Kazakhstan. April Fool special, Boros from your whatever arrives in the Boys universe. I still need to catch up to the Boys. I really like the concept of the Boys, like corrupt superheroes. The biggest exposure I have to the Boys is like some power scaling videos and then a rap about Homelander. Which, by the way, like, raps about fictional characters go so hard for some reason. There's, like, an entire community of people who do, like, songs and raps about various anime characters, like, show characters, and it honestly goes unreasonably hard. Like, if y'all are interested, check out Fable or Divide Music. Like, they make such good songs, like, actual, like professional tier songs about fictional characters. Then, what if Garo human was an MHA and Deku was trained by Garo? If I downscaled Garo, that would actually be a really fun video to make, like a series. If I scale Garo to like be reasonably strong in the MHA verse without like stomping everyone, then that would be a really fun series. Like, what if Garo was an MHA and trained Deku? Like that would be a fun series to write. Have you watched the In-Betweeners? I have not. I have not watched the In-Betweeners. And then from Davish again, what if Gojo got isekai to One Punch Man? I don't really know, because Gojo is like... I'm only familiar with the anime version of Gojo, but I do believe that he would be an S-class hero for sure. He would be very arrogant. Most people wouldn't be able to do much to him. I wonder how could Tatsumaki's psychic powers work on Gojo? Like, could she crush him? Like, that's actually an interesting question. It's kind of weird. In chat, Boris, how do you keep beating me? You're cheating. King, wrong. I just know more than spamming buttons. He says as he beats Boris in the fighting game again. Yeah, it would be like Saitama versus King all over again. Have you watched Batman Brave and Bold series? I have not. I have so much stuff to catch up with. Alright, then Loco asks, why does Kisame solo fiction? Because he does. He is just that guy. He is the one punch fish. he can defeat anybody in fiction because he is one of my favorite characters and I stand Kisame. So therefore, he beats every character in fiction. Is Kakuzu boundless with infinite durability? Of course. Of course he is. Kakuzuhida novels, I've tried to explain that. And then who wins Minato versus Tobirama? The never-ending debate. And then the Minato versus Tobirama. Base to base, I would say Tobirama absolutely stomps. KCM, like full power KCM versus Tobirama, I'm leaning toward Minato, but I think it's a decent battle. And then the final question from the community tab by Ryan Smith Universe Breaker. What if Cosmic Borrow's... Oh, no, sorry. What if Cosmic Garo, after reaching Saitama, had time traveled back in time to season 1 with his powers when Vaccine Man appeared? He would probably honestly get off the planet as soon as he can, because he's radiating radiation everywhere. So he would actually be aware that he's killing people and maybe just like literally jump off the planet and never return. But overall, like, he might go to meet Saitama, he might do some stuff. Like, that would be a fun thing to look into more. But right now, like, yeah, he would actually, like, try to seclude himself away from everybody because he's radiating radiation. So he would, like, maybe try to get that under control before he does anything. What if Ultra Vegito from the Godkiller fan manga was transported to the Saiyan Saga after being smited by the Grand Priest? I have not read that fan manga, so I cannot say anything. Then 3, if novel Pennywise invaded the Dragon Ball multiverse, how would everyone react and what would happen? I do not scale Pennywise, I do not know Pennywise, so yeah, I just know that the movie he like gets beaten by a bunch of kids. That's all I know, so yeah, can't really answer that one. Ryan Smith, hi. I'm answering your questions at the moment, though I can't really answer them too well for the most part. Final question. What if Overgrown Rover, after being bonked by Saitama, was transported to Attack on Titan Season 1, Episode 5? That is oddly specific. What is Episode 5 exactly? It's like Trost District, I think. But it's like, what episode exactly? Because, like, if Rover just appeared in Trost, he would honestly just be like such an unkillable force. And he's a wild animal. He might just go around like eating the Titans and stuff like that. Like that might actually happen. And then the humans would just... I honestly don't know what they would do. Maybe they could try to tame him. I'm not sure. But Rover would definitely be like an insurmountable force in the verse. So like whoever manages to like get on his good side and like tame him would just be able to like control the outcome of everything. And yeah, that is the end of all the Q&A questions. That took a long time, but I'm glad. What power would you have if you could choose one? The power I would love to have is imagination. The SpongeBob meme. But no, like in all seriousness, like the best power I feel like would be just like you imagine something, you want it to come true, and then you have to like activate like a starter command or something just to make sure that you don't accidentally imagine something bad happening, and then it does come true. So like that's like a power that would just has like very little limits. I could just get every other power in existence basically with that. But if I could just choose one single power, like not cheating with like this basically like imagination cheat code, I guess. Not cheating, I would say probably Kamui from Naruto, because it's very versatile. You can travel, you can store objects in another space-time, you can become intangible and stuff like that. Like, it's very versatile. It could be used for various things, like travel, and for avoiding dangerous situations if you ever find yourself in one. For convenience, too, like if you need to move, you can just, like, teleport things. if you need to carry something around, you can just Kamui it into the Kamui dimension, and then you don't have to carry it. You can just get it back whenever you want to. So I would say Kamui from Naruto. If there's no drawbacks. If I'm going blind, then no, not Kamui. What would Genos say to his fans if he decided to face them? We know he has a large fan group in the Deep Seeking chapter. Honestly, he would probably try to preach how goated Saitama is. Like, he would probably try to spread the good word about Saitama to his fans. Like, that's what I could see him doing. Goodbye, well. Portal as I'm punching someone through the screen. Those dogs had it coming. Oddly specific, but yeah, Portals is a good one too. Last question from me. You think Tatsumaki has a slight crush on Saitama after he survived her and gave her advice, or just looks up to him as a hero figure of sorts, given that she takes his advice afterwards? I think it's more so just like a respect thing. Because it's like, for one, she's finally able to go all out against someone in a non-life or death battle. So she's just like experiencing joy from that already. Then another thing is like him giving advice and stuff. I feel like she's just like developing the same relationship with Saitama as she has with Blast. Where like she respects him enough to listen to him. So yeah, I would say it's not like romantic or anything. I don't think it's like at all set up at the moment. If Obito had 2 MS at 14, he easily stomps Minato. Yeah, for sure. I would agree. Because like having both Sharingan makes Kamui twice as fast too. So it's pretty blatant that Obito would win. The Gospel of the Bald One. Yeah. Well, I'm going. See you later. See you later, Low Gaming. Hope you have a good rest of the day. He converts his fans from Genos fans to Saitama fans. Yeah, that's something he would totally do, though. Like, he would definitely do that. Like, come on, let's be honest. He would totally do that. What if the S-Class saw Saitama defeating Boros? I feel like a lot of them would instantly be impressed by him, but a lot of them would also want to, like, test him for themselves. Like, you know, maybe they think Boros is weak and would challenge Saitama to fights, lose, and then they would believe Saitama. After that, Saitama is definitely getting promoted to S-Class, like, whether he wants it or not. Like, there's just nothing in the world that would stop that from happening. So, yeah, I would say Boros being defeated by Saitama, like, being seen by everyone, would definitely get Saitama rank S, and then he would be a lot more respected in the story. How's the stream going? It's going pretty well. Finished with all the questions pretty much. In terms of the ones that are given before the stream at least. We'll probably be wrapping it up kind of soon, because I'm getting pretty tired as well. Loco, please lead One Punch Man. Yes, please do. Please do, actually. I'm really curious what you would think about it. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably be going. Although at the same time, I do have a couple ideas for what could be done right now. Well, let me drink something first. Let me drink some water. 'Cause I need to hydrate. I've been talking for 2 hours. Watch season 1 and 2, but don't feel like reading the rest of it. Now, the manga is actually like extremely good artwork and pretty interesting story. So I feel like you could, like, if you don't feel like it, it's fine. But at the same time, I would recommend it. Stay hydrated or else. Yes, stay hydrated or else you will literally die. Because that's what happens when humans run out of water. Then, for the thing about About ideas. What else we could do on the stream? I don't have too much time left, maybe half an hour at most. But I do have a couple of ideas for tier lists we could do. One is a tier list of the One Punch Man, like my What If for One Punch Man, What If Boros Turned Good series, like ranking the parts for the series, like how I think each part turned out in terms of quality and how enjoyable it was to write and like script and do all that. So that's something that I could do if you would want to see that. And then another one is that I have on hand right now. It's a tier list of anime YouTubers, but I feel like that's dangerous because, like, if I don't know, like, that's a dangerous topic to do. I don't know if I really want to do it. I've never read it, but my friend always tries to debate me on Goku versus Saitama. Bro thought destroying a galaxy was uni plus feat. Yeah, it happens. It happens. But would you be interested in any of those like suggestions or not? Because we could do like an anime YouTuber tier list, or we could do a Boros par tier list. If you want. If not, we can just end the stream. Because I would be down to end it at this point, to be honest. We've been going for quite a while, over 2 hours. Anime YouTubers, let's get controversial. Bro, at least you don't have to debunk SCP scaling. I don't know too much about SCP scaling, but I know it can get wild. No risk, no reward, anime YouTuber tier list. You guys really want to see that one? Because, like, I can try. Yes, Loco, I see the tags. What do you want to tell me? I said we need to play Minecraft again. Yeah, we can play Minecraft sometime. Not today though, because today I'm kind of tired. I can go for like half an hour and then I'm pretty burned out. So probably not today, but we can do that sometime. What if Elder Centipede and Goketsu survive Sans Fire? Yeah, I think we can do that. Like I can definitely do that video at some point. Don't do that. You will never be the same after. I mean, yeah, like it could get controversial. I don't know. Actually, just like, can I do a poll here? Wake up, bro. Yumi and Flame need to be the Ender Dragon. Yeah, we do at some point. Can I do a poll here? Is it possible to create a poll? Nope. /poll does not work. How can you create a poll on in the chat? Like, is there any way to do a poll here? Because I've seen people do it. Is there any way to create a poll on a stream? Is it possible to like /poll or something? Vote controversial tier list. Hold on. /vote. What do I do after /vote? Can't wait to see Job Hunter Garo. There is, but no idea. Hmm. So, like, controversial YouTuber ranking potentially, or like a general like ranking the parts of the Boros. What if? Somebody please say parts of the Boros. What if? So I can at least know that one person wants that and justify making that instead of the anime YouTuber tier list. Or we can end the stream here, because I'm genuinely pretty tired. Will you upload this and leave the live chat on to be visible? Yeah, I will. Wait, are you doing a poll? I want to do one, but I don't know how. YouTuber, parts of the Boros. Live poll schedule or start a live stream or a premiere from the button of the chat window. Tap create a poll. What button though? I can't really see. Want to see how Bang interacts with Boros? Yeah, that is gonna happen at some point, I can say that. Let the man rest, he's earned. Yeah, I'm gotta go. Peace. Goodbye, Zero. Yo, I'm back. Got an unskippable side quest from Dad. Relatable. But I say maybe let's end it here for today. Because it's already pretty late for me. It's gonna be 11 p.m. kinda soon. Plus, a YouTuber tier list would take a kind of a long time. Imagine Boros through the water, stream rock smashing fist. Yeah, that is a pretty terrifying idea. Bye, Ryan Smith. Living Tribunal, going to bed. Yeah, okay, let's end the stream here, because we've been going on for a while. I think it's fine to end it here. Play the outcome music, wait. What outcome music? 11 p.m. Yeah, it's gonna be that kinda soon. I guess you now know the time zone that I live in. Not really that much helpful, you know? False, find the time zone. Yeah. When's the next live stream? I don't really know. Maybe next weekend, maybe like the weekend after that. If you're on PC, you should have a button literally called create in like the chat box on the right of emotes. Oh yeah, now I see. Yeah, I was looking at the phone screen for a while because I needed to look at the questions before, but now I can look at the PC. Yeah, I can start a poll now. But again, like I probably need to go. I don't really want to make an entire tier list now. We can just say some closing thoughts. But if you're earning, it's been a good fine. Have a good one. Yeah, thank you. You too. Guys, like the whole Eastern Europe is the same time zone. It ain't gonna help. Yes, sir. So you went East Europe. It was gonna be 11 p.m. Yeah, like it's like Eastern Europe. I'll give you another hint. I live at least 1 kilometer away from the ocean. At least 1 kilometer away from any ocean on the planet. But yeah, I think we can end it here because it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, we kind of need to go now. So thank you for everybody who came on. Thank you for everybody who asked questions. I had a pretty good time here, but my room is literally like, how hot is it? Like 25 degrees in here? European degrees Celsius. So yeah, kind of hot. I'm gonna have to ventilate. Bro doxing himself. Now it's obvious. Yeah, I might have revealed too much, you know. Yeah, probably. But yeah, anyways, thank you all for joining in, and see you next time. Peace out.